They'll be calling you a radical. So Kevin Blanch, Pure dADa. I want to explain some things about my style. Long time ago, I was like, fuck, we got to change. You know, we got some social media platforms now. When we had YouTube was organic before Trump killed net neutrality. And I'm like, I've got to change. I mean, the artist, the activist. I says, it's got to be radical intense. I got to go dADa. I got to go Pure dADa and see if this can work, because we're getting nowhere with this dry, homogenous freaking plowshares going to jail. Freaking, the whole movement was ridiculous. They were annihilating us with their PR firms in Hollywood, the nuclear energy crime syndicate. So I says, got to take them on. Cancer, cancer, cancer. And so I invented this style, the art form as Blanch, on location, Pure dADa, to hold retention. I knew that the YouTube search engine was retention, was not view count. And boy, did it work. There was a time when, before they killed net neutrality and the nuclear energy crimes caught up to me, and I got the genie out of the bottle, that my YouTube site was one of the top 100, probably the top 10 retention YouTube sites in the world. Google sent me an email, and then, of course, I had no AdSense account, whatever, blah, 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 but it worked to hold retention. You used to Google salmon claps, you'd come at the sidebar, it'd be nothing but me. You used to go to typos, nothing but me. You used to Google, think about this, Fukushima, the meltdowns, I'd be 9 of the 10. Maybe there'd be one mixed in, BBC, CNN, Reuters, one of the big corporates, you know, before they caught up to me. And so that's how I invented this dADa style. And it was so incredibly effective. And by the way, they can't stuff it back in the bottle, because I educated literally tens of millions of people. I go anywhere in the world, people come up to me. And because the genie's out of the bottle. You know, they can't stuff me back in. They can squash my view count. They can attack me. They can slander me. By the way, this Mega Dairy Queen right here, a PR firm's been exposed now. He was the county commissioner under investigation. He's all over the media now. How did he become head of the agriculture department with no college degrees? I taught the environmental economics, platform at Weber State, one of the best in the country. Now they're the worst. There are thousands of people more qualified. He didn't have a college degree, and Dirty Herbie gives him the job. He was head of the DNR. And now it's being exposed still. And I mean, what a club. You know, I mean, this is a crime family. He's been ripping off this. I grew up right here. They've been ripping off this whole area for freaking decades. No one cares. They don't care. It's a club. So anyway, what I want to talk about in this video is COVID-19. You know, remember her? The spy who loved me? Pussy galore octopussy, Trump's wife. Remember when she wore that? By the way, when you get caught up in bait, Mitt Romney, who announced his candidacy right there. Why would he announce his candidacy? Don't get me going on this club. So, even he says, you know, the immigration debate, both sides like it. Just look, this election was about status quo. The rigged elections, all elections are rigged. Why you're all caught up in Biden and Trump shiny ballism, which is basically, you know, Trump had to go, but come on. You know, we got another pink, it stinks, James Carville Republican in the White House. Environmentalist, pseudo de facto, just a little more nuance. I mean, the two creep liars, they're identical twins. When the Senate seats were, I'm an old stats professor. For these polls to be wrong 20 points in Maine, Susan Collins, in South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, Iowa. I mean, what? The statistical probability, this is Nate, you know, Conman Silver. If he was in my 101 class, I would have thrown him out. The statistical probability of the Democrats not taking the Senate is 100 to 1. Whoa. Them getting less than 225 congressional seats is 1,000 to 1. Susan Collins down by 3 in the polls, wins by 14. Lindsey Graham down by 2 or 3, wins by 4. How is that even it's not, you know. So anyway, shiny ballism, that's how they played. You know, everybody, I talk to so many people who says, I'm so focused on the presidential election that I don't even pay attention. Virgin Zones won here in Utah? How is that possible? That freaking psychotic freak. Pure dADa Kevin Blanch. I want to talk about COVID-19, the elephant in the room. The pot of dead wells in the room. Dead tadpoles at your feet, Kevin Blanch. Salmon collapse, Kevin Blanch. Fructonium fires, this thesis. I've been right on everything. First you hypothesize the knowledge, then you do the field work. It's going to give you cancer, I got cancer. This county commissioner spraying Roundup up and down the roads, I video him. right there. The EPA interviews me right here. The EPA come out and says, I've been to the state and I've been interviewing everybody in the state on this corruption, whatever. She says, it was a female. She says, I literally, every time I'm here and investigate, she comes clear from Denver, she interviewed me, she says, I have to go take a shower. I says, oh, it's that creepy. Oh boy, is it that creepy. Who would ever believed it? So, the data form. COVID-19. Now stay with me. COVID-19, this is the World Health Organization, which I was in Geneva. I got kicked right out of there. You know, I had my signs inside there. Ran out of the city on a train across Lake Geneva, right out of a movie. In the middle of the night, all the way back to Vin. In Vin, we win. They don't understand my activism over there, per se, because Global 2000 is funded by the government. I says, it's opposite here. The government actually attacks us here. You get funded by the government as anti-nuclear energy activists, I get attacked. You know, you don't realize what I'm up against, you know, and this is the head of Greenpeace, who gave me, the only time I've been in a car, I've been in a car twice in Europe my whole life, when they gave me an award in Bath, nuclearized. They gave me a standing ovation in Austria. Kevin Blanch. She gave me a ride home. I says, you don't realize how Greenpeace is greenwashed, is hijacked, it's all hijacked here. She says, well, I didn't believe you till later when I came here, and she says, oh boy, the banana, the potato chip thesis, the liars, these people, because in the United States, people, there's no integrity. People do anything for money. So COVID-19, I hypothesized all this, including she's going to fight back, the mighty blue lady. She's going to fight, she's going to come after the people with a virus. Is COVID-19 a byproduct from the Fukushima Meltdowns? I think it's obvious. Now, the salmon collapse, my work proves that the salmon collapse is Fukushima. It didn't go like this, and everybody that's plagiarized me, there's some new book about the Pacific, quit plagiarizing me. At least give me some credit, you know, send me some money, do something, but, you know, you fuckers. Cancer karma is real. I was given too much to live. I was in a coma right now, 9 years ago today, at the East 8 Bone Marrow. That's how San Onofre went down, as Kevin Blanch. I kicked over that domino, and the domino, we went from 104 nuclear reactors to 64. Take one down, pass it around. Kevin reached into the bag and he slung the stone. Is COVID-19 a byproduct of Fukushima? Let's see. We know that leukemia, and we know these things are showing up in shellfish. We know that this came from the sea, the wet market, Wuhan lab. We know that it came from the sea. Where? The China Sea or the Pacific, Japan. Right there. Just like the collapse on the Russian peninsula. It's right there. It's as obvious as scars across my face. There's no doubt in my mind, COVID-19, nouveau, like my cancer. Nouveau, moving, mutating, devastating. We don't understand it, because it's new, just like plutonium. Thus, scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered. You got some frozen milk? With your frozen bat. Kevin Blanch Pure dADa. My idea worked. Is this milk frozen? Oh, that's the bush beans. God, you keep pounding that. Yeah, because 2000 they stole it. God, he's back. Carl Rowe's back, by the way. Carl Rowe's back. The devil, he went down to George, looked for some soul stills. He was way behind. Johnny, you rising up that bow and you play that fiddle hard. My bat's been off lately. How come? It's hard to be an activist doing what I do right now. There are no hearings. I can't get up in their face. COVID-19 gives them cover. I got a lot accomplished this year. It's one of my best years of accomplishment as the activist. That trip in DC, I got so many good interviews. Fukushima. The more effective I become and the stronger I become and the better, the more people flee from me. The more they fear me. Well, Kevin reached into the bag and he slung the stone. Pure dADa. This style that I developed, oh, did it work. Oh, did it work. And they can never take that from me. I have a tale to tell. They keep it so hidden so well. A man can tell 1,000 lies. I was not ready for the cancer fall. Too blind to see the writing on the wall. Oh, but I told the tale. It's out there in front of you. Now what happens? The Arc of Justice? I guess we'll see. But think about a PR firm right here, and this has just been exposed. I was wondering how in the Weber County, in front of Kathy, the great reporter, Utah Investigates is their new gig, which they do great work. This county commissioner, who I grew up next to, this rat attacked me while I was in critical condition in front of the county attorney. PR firms, felonies in all 50 states, including here. I'm full of cancer, AML, leukemia, in a bone marrow transplant center. You don't believe me? You go talk to Vincent Hansen. Go talk to him. He says I'm the biggest miracle in his 40-year career. Go talk to Fimbo Peterson, the top of the LDSE state bone marrow. Go talk to him. Go talk to him about Kevin Blanch. Death's doorstep. This is an unsurvivable disease I have in my body. Remember, just 3 years ago, I had open heart surgery on death's doorstep. Mike Lee kicks me off Medicaid when I was in a bone marrow transplant after I fought over $1 million. It's an incredible journey. PR firm right here. These two girls working for them and then going after me. Wow, what a story. It's usually right in your own backyard where it's happening. I grew up on this marsh. Should have seen it. It's so beautiful. One of the great resting places for migratory birds this time of year. The whole marsh should just fill up. They drained it all off illegally. Literally millions of blue herons, tundra swans, ducks. I mean, gone. It's over. Why? They don't even own hardly any land. Farm Bureau, freaking looting, thieving, stealing. It's a crime family, and no one seems to give a fuck. What a heartbreaking story. I would have never believed it. I would have never believed it. One last time. Oh no. What's with the soup can? What a metaphor. Consumption junkies, what's your function? Oh God, that left. Come on, Kev. There you go. You're getting better. Stay in tune. Kevin Blanch. By the way, that jacket's for sale. It's cool as hell. This is real too. God, what a gem this is. Are you kidding me? Jack Sigma to Sick Jackmas. Sure could use some donations. I got to get to San Diego to do my tide pool work. ASAP. I'll be leaving pretty soon. Black and Yellow Friday coming up. 7 years. 7 years we started that, protesting on a nuclear site and no consumption at Livermore, California. Kamala Harris's mom. That's where she worked. Whoa, bringing star power to Earth. The sun can give you cancer from 93 million miles away. It's a plasma. The COVID-19, there's no doubt. It's never happened before. It took Lake Barrett, and that sunflower hanging in the tree is from Lake Barrett's yard. Mark made it. Lake Barrett to Leslie Stahl in 60 minutes. By the way, Barack, Barry Antoinette, Obama, and Trump, the Fukushima cover-up trilogy, Abby, his 60-minute interview, not a word about the greatest event in human history, his cover-up of Fukushima, and Trump, the handoff. This has never happened before. This is like going to the moon, way bigger than that. Lake Barrett, the cover-up king. To Mark. Kevin's on the phone. Lake. Kevin says this is an energy of plasma being pushed in the ocean. It's devastating the ocean. It's going to mutate and freaking fuck up everything. It's the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. Okay, hi, Kevin. Well, Kevin Blanch is right. That's not what you said on TV. I had to tell him something. Right on 60 Minutes, they told you. It took them 3,000 days to tell you what Kevin Blanch told you in 60 minutes. The truth, you can't handle it. COVID-19 from the sea. Kobe. Stay tuned, but the sheep, they can't handle the truth. Kevin Blanch, pure data.